Yeah,
We are live at the Microsoft Teams Bootcamp, and I've snuck out with Irena to get a bit of an inside track on what's going on everything that she manages, and maybe a little sneak peek of what's coming at Infocom as well, if I can pour it out of you. Irena, for those that don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself and your role?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. For those that I haven't met, I'm Irena. I lead the product team for everything to do with Teams devices, rooms, phones, peripherals, and device management to deploy these devices at scale.
Quite a wide remit you have now. So you gave a bit of a talk yesterday at the boot camp, and we'll go through some of the things you talked about. Let's start off with Pro Portal.
All right.
So we're moving forward now with all the Android devices coming into the Pro Portal as kind of one surface to manage everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Pro Portal, as I just mentioned in my intro, is the way to deploy and manage at scale all devices.
Yeah.
So therefore, I know we had this bifurcation for some time. Android devices are mostly managed in Teams Admin Center. They're visible in PMP, but not really managed. Everything is coming to PMP. Everything in Pro Management, rooms, panels, and phones. Even the seat phones, by the way.
Oh, that's good. I got that question yesterday, so that's good
all
to know.
Phones. All of these Teams devices, although SIP phones are not necessarily Teams devices, but they're managed in tag, everything is coming to PMP.
So that's an important one for the people that manage voice, because anybody in rooms already probably knows about the Pro Portal, but for your voice teams, important to now get them involved, and they'll be using the Pro Portal for their phone device management.
Set up your operations, understand how it works, and then all devices try it out. It is coming up ultimately.
Nice, and we won't get into the weed, but there's a kind of migration pattern where you're moving devices across, and it will respect all the existing rings and kind of patching process. That's right.
Yes, so all updates, obviously devices, if folks are managing rooms and panels, they can see them, they can see signals, we'll continue adding signals, health signals that is, and all update management will move, which means in PMP, folks can set up custom rings, rings of progression, very much the same ways they have been able to do for Windows. They will do for Android as well, and that's one of the big benefits for moving from Pro Management. Another thing is we're exploring. Pro Management has always been developed as a AI-powered platform, which helps with the goal of keeping your devices up and running all the time with minimal, as much as possible, minimal human interaction.
Yeah, we're all seeing like more and more rooms rolled out, and customers don't have more and more people to manage the rooms, and it feels like a really great use case for AI, right? Like, I've got these rooms, if they have issues, they tend to have similar issues, like the AI should be able to help us with that.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is exactly the path that we're going on. We get these signals, and based on these signals, we can monitor, or the service monitors all of your devices and can take an action if something has gone wrong, ideally resolve the problem, and if not, it can notify somebody that can take an action and resolve it. So that's kind of the ultimate goal of helping admins scale with very small teams, because that is what we usually see at the customer side. Very small, very few admins and technicians have to maintain very large estate. Yeah.
I've seen customers I talk to in the thousands of rooms on a very small team, and globally, obviously, as well. So
Absolutely.
It's a 24/7 operation.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the case even at Microsoft. We work very closely with Microsoft Digital, our internal IT department. They manage many thousands of rooms globally, and it's their customer zero for us.
Nice. And the key thing you said there is the proactivity. So it's not just like, here's a bunch of alerts, we've worked out what the alerts are. It's starting to move into the typical next step is to like, well, the room isn't going to be used for a few hours, let's reboot it, or let's try this thing, or let's try that thing.
Exactly. We have these signals, and they create the knowledge, and there is a lot of information that we have done through resolutions and root causes and so on. What can we discern from those that helps admins at scale? What we can replicate, what patterns we can observe that can be used to as you said, like, hey, some things are resolved just by simply restarting the camera. So why do we have to file?
Yeah. Why am I telling the person to restart the camera?
Right. Well, I mean, AI is very good at that. Like,
Yeah.
and could know, is there somebody present in the room? So those are the kinds of things. Something that we have already launched just recently, because how can admins get easy access to the information they already have? And there are kind of two skills, I guess, from this AI assistant.
Yeah.
You may want to know how to deploy or how to enroll your rooms or how to use autopilot or whatever question you may have. You don't have to get out of the PMP environment. You can just ask in context. That is already available.
And that's reasoning over the docs, isn't it? So that pulls in the latest docs
Absolutely,
information.
yes.
So it's like a safe source of information. So
Exactly.
rather than asking a generic AI, you're asking an AI agent that's focused on, well, this is the type of information you're going to want.
Yes, that's grounded on that knowledge base.
Nice.
And the other one is I joke with the PMs who are responsible for reports. Like, stop creating reports. People ask different things. So you can, as a user, in a natural way, ask like, hey, how many Teams rooms were deployed in building 3 over the last month? Maybe that's what's important for me.
Yeah.
And I don't need to know how to write the query. I don't need to know how to pull the data. I just ask a question. And that's what a decision maker will do. That's the goal from kind of starting down the path. Like, how can we enable these AI-assisted workflows? Whether you're a decision maker or IT admin, help support you where you are.
I'm really excited for that, for usage information and the places information coming in as well, because I feel like all usage reports are really just trying to represent what the question is, and now we can go straight to the question, like, which are my busiest rooms, like, what can I do over here?
Exactly.
Like, and the places information coming in there goes into a bigger conversation than just rooms as well, because now I can look at, why are these rooms being booked? Why is this building being booked?
Absolutely. I mean, admins, decision makers, one of the biggest questions we always get is, how are the rooms and the spaces used? So how do I plan for, do I need more small rooms? Do I need more big ones? And that's very, very important, because then these admins can plan based on the budgets and time constraints, or sometimes buildings are coming up. All of that is important to understand how the organization is using the spaces.
Nice. Let's talk devices, because that's your major remit. Like, one of the things I'm most excited about is the intelligence on the edge kind of conversation. Like, we've got all this compute on the edge, and obviously you've got hundreds of millions of users, literally, like on Teams. Like, some of the intelligence on the edge, you feel like there's a really good opportunity to take advantage of the user's kind of brain in the room, but like that intelligence at the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. So my boss, Ilya Bukhtain, if you don't know him, he often talks about having the brain and the eyes and ears. That's how we transform the rooms from just being audio-video systems to AI-powered intelligent spaces.
Yeah.
And so jokingly, why do we need the eyes? Because they capture the context of the room. They help bridge the gap between the remote and the remote people and the attendees in the room. A person sitting remote can see clearly, like, who is sitting next to Tom. So how do we know? Or we're having a conversation, frame this conversation, frame this side of, don't show me the whole room. For example, how do we do that? I mean, there are different ways to kind of solve this problem. One way is we can do all of that in the cloud. We can do composition in the cloud. And we do some of that with Cloud IntelliFrame.
Yeah.
We have started down that path. However, our hardware partners have a lot of intelligence on the edge. And so we are exploring ways of how we can leverage that intelligence on the edge. And instead of us putting everything in the cloud, working with them to leverage that and tap into that. So I would say that is something that to look forward to.
Yeah. There's only so much we can talk about pre-InfoComm as well, but like I think that's particularly important when we get into like multi-camera and direction and framing. Like, there's a lot of both compute and bandwidth scenarios there where the edge device is ideally situated to do some of that
Absolutely,
compute for us.
absolutely. I mean, getting everything into the MTR and then streaming from there, and just latency and bandwidth.
Yeah.
Why do you have to do that when you can just have it processed on the edge? So that is a very big part of it, and it already does that to some extent. A lot of our partners have built a lot of capabilities
Yeah.
on the edge. So tapping into that is something that we are actively working on.
Nice. And another big conversation at the bootcamp is people recognition, voice recognition. Like that's been around for a while. The team have done some big improvements in how voice recognition works recently in terms of kind of proactive helping people enroll. Obviously, they still have to opt in, and not holding a voice file anymore, but more like a calculated profile of the voice. So I've got that right.
Yeah, so recognition is a very big and technically challenging problem. So how do we know who have said what and properly attribute that in the AI artifacts that are created?
Yeah.
And I was sharing, Tom, with you earlier that even at Microsoft, sometimes I run into people outside of our organization who would say, hey, I was in a meeting room and then I looked in the recap and I was listed as speaker one, or worse yet, it was room 123 that said something. Why I'm not properly reflected? I'm like, hey, is your voice profile enrolled? I don't know.
It's reassuring to see that Microsoft internally has the same kind of adoption challenges that everybody has.
Yeah,
in this stuff.
so that is challenge number one. It's kind of driving awareness. Yes, you
Yeah.
can do it from team settings. As you said, it has been there for some time and people can continue to do that. They have control over it. It's an opt-in mechanism, has to be enabled by the admins. We do have I just want to mention this, spend a lot of time on making sure we have the proper governance and compliance, match all of those, provide admins.
Yeah, there's admin controls over all of this, and admin and per user as well.
Yes, exactly. Having said that, all of that, like, if you really want to take advantage of, like, hey, I don't go to all the meetings, I want to see what happened and have that properly. So it is important to have recognition work for this type of scenarios. So we have started down the path of capturing a voice signature without storing it if you show up in 2 consecutive meetings. And it's not storing a file, it's just storing the signature in a biometric service.
And it's kind of doing it on your behalf. So it'll kind of pop up and say, hey, I've got enough of your voice now to build a profile if you want to build a profile. So moving it from I, as a user, have to proactively go into settings, enroll. Like realistically, people don't do that. But like, oh, it's ready. Do you want to do it? It's a much nicer experience.
We still ask the user to consent.
Yeah.
So that is always there. But it is, as you said, it's becoming proactive and kind of helps for the user to help them enroll. So that's another piece of that puzzle. I think of recognition as like making a cake. You can put a couple of ingredients, you get something, but you need a lot of ingredients to make it really, really good. So that's the problem with recognition. We need a lot of different ingredients to make it work very well. So it's a process that we're kind of down the road, and you'll see different new things coming out on how we solve that problem.
And we had Mahendra talk this morning, and he spent a lot of time on work IQ and the idea of this kind of layer of intelligence coming in where you want to know what's going on. And obviously the meetings in the rooms are an important part, even if they're fully in-person meetings or they're obviously classic Teams meetings.
Absolutely.
So the idea of capturing the intelligence in the room and who said what is not just about that particular meeting, it's about building this intelligent layer of what's gone over the entire project. Obviously, again, you can only have access to things you're supposed to have access to, it's all compliant and stuff, but like I'm starting to see the customers I talk to understand, oh, there's value beyond just the minutes for that meeting. It's about capturing the entire kind of experience.
Exactly, and the meeting rooms are, you mentioned these ad hoc meetings or non-hybrid or in-person only meetings. I mean, a lot of brainstorms and creative conversations happen in those types of meetings.
Yeah.
So capturing that in the knowledge that your company has in Work IQ becomes even more important, because like 3 meetings later, you might have forgotten as a human.
Yeah, for sure I have. Yeah. That's awesome. So we're right on the edge of Infocom. I think you're going to be there next week.
Yeah.
Any hints you can give us to what to look out for?
We have been kind of talking about rooms becoming intelligent spaces, and having, as in every room, executive room, for example, there is usually an exec, either assistant or support, somebody who goes and checks on the room ahead of time, make sure key stakeholders are present. If something is to go wrong, that person might be able to help resolve it or notify somebody who can do that.
Yeah.
So why can't we have that kind of person or entity that can help in every room? Everybody has meetings are stressful, need to start on time, need to make sure everything works, everything is clean and ready. So why can't we have that type of support in every room?
Yeah.
So what I would say is, if you're going to Infocom, tune in and join Ilya Buchstein's session, at Infocom next week.
Yeah, I think that'll be one to watch. Definitely for you there, catch up on that. And I've been gathering all the news, so once all that news drops, we'll do a special newsletter with all the highlights and what we can talk about. But yeah, some really exciting things coming.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for catching up, Irene. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having me.